Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So you may know that I absolutely love using Notion. I discovered it like a few months ago and I became a little bit obsessed. I'm doing everything in Notion now and I find it particularly useful for tracking my reading and my books and the type of books that I have on my shelf and just everything that I usually did in Goodreads. Like I still use Goodreads, but I sort of added Notion to it so I can track everything even more and just, I love it. So I thought in this video I would give you a tour of my Notion and in particular how I organize all of my books and my reading in this program. So if you don't know Notion is basically this sort of online to-do journal program. You can do anything in Notion. You can write notes, journal entries, you can make tables, just everything. Let's just take a look at my Notion and I will give you a tour of my books and my reading. I really hope you're going to like this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And yeah, let's take a look. I've got my laptop right here. It is full of stickers, as you can see. And we're just going to have a look around. Okay, so welcome to my Notion. This is my front page. It is very simple. I am not the best at making it very aesthetically pleasing. So I just chose a little sunflower emoji, just a peachy background, and all of my just pages and lists and whatever. Okay, so just a very quick overview. I'm not going like on any pages because it's quite personal, but overall I just have my to-do things, and here are the books. We'll be talking about that very soon. Everything that has to do with my shop, then just other things like grocery list, meal planner, recipes, whatever, gift IDs, basically Britt video IDs like on my Patreon, statistics, and then media things like to watch. And this tracking 2020 is still my tracking for my books from 2020, but it became a bit too like cluttered here in my books section, so I decided to just move that down. But let's just take a look at my book. So this is my little book section. I have the tracking of 2021 this year, obviously my physical TBR. Whole 2021 is basically all the books that I hold in 2021, then my 2021 TBR. How many times have I said 2021, 2021, 2021? Then series, basically book series, and beep, it's Dutch for like the library. I'll talk about that in a bit. But let's just start out with tracking of 2021. I think that's everyone's favorite page and you're most like interested in what this is. So this is basically how I keep track of everything that I read this year, and just every year basically. I'm going to start doing this from now on. So basically I just track everything. I track all the books that I read this year. How have I already read 29 books? This is absolutely crazy. It is March right now, the middle of March. But yeah, this is how I track all of my reading. I created this table and then I just do, the date, the title, the author, and then I tick whether it's a physical, an ebook, or an audiobook. And then here at the bottom it like counts how many I've checked. So I've already read 15 physical books, 1 ebook, and 13 audiobooks. Then I do the like pages that I read from an audio, or like from a physical book or from an ebook, and then here the number of hours that I have already listened to, how long the audiobook was, and then the rating as well. Let's take a look. I already physically read 4,459 pages. I listened to 133 hours worth of audiobook. And my average rating is a 3.95. So that's really, really high. I'm really happy with that. And then here I do the genre. I do multiple genres, but if by the end of the year I'm going to be doing like an overview of all the books that I read and all these genres, I will choose the most overarching genre, so yeah, I just have a lot of different genres to choose from. The good thing is if I like here I have all of my different genres that I can pick from, and I just use all of it that kind of has to do with the book. So I can also filter through the books that I read and see, like if I want to see how many magical realism books I read, you can filter all of these columns. Are these columns or rows? I believe columns. You can filter them, you can sort them, you can do so much with Notion. I love it. And then also here I do the age category. So either middle grade, young adult, adult, or new adult. Have I read a new adult yet? No. I've read a lot of adult books, as you can see. And again, you can filter all of these columns, which is so great. So you can see how many books you read from a specific you know, age category or genre or whatever. I just love looking at this. And also, for example, here, all of these like titles that have a little paper next to it, I actually wrote some notes on those books as well. So you can easily like just write some notes here. Bit boring. So if I want to do a wrap up, I have, you know, something to talk about, or if I don't want to forget something, I had to do that with the Bridgerton books because I could not remember all 8 books and the things that happened in those 8 books. So I made some notes. But yeah, this is basically the thing that I use most. It's my tracking, and it's also here on the left side at my favorites. So let's go back to my homepage. Then we have physical TBR. This is basically all the books that I still have on my shelf. In total, I have 65 physical unread books on my shelf, which is not too bad. It was a lot more, but I'm really trying to cut down my physical TBR because there are just so many books on here that have been there for a very long time. So I really hope to just read as many of them as possible this year. And if I like, you know, read one, I will just delete it from this list and then it will automatically recount it to 64. So it always feels very satisfying, you know, being able to delete a book from this list because I really want to get my physical TBR down. Okay, let's take a look at haul of 2021. This is basically where I, you know, write down all the books that I hauled this year and whether they were gifted to me, whether I bought them myself, and that's it. Just whether they were gifted or whether I bought them myself. And I created this little line because I already filmed a haul from this list. So everything that's below the line will be featured in a new haul video. I've decided to do like haul videos again instead of just showing them in my weekly vlogs. So, you know, I know where to start with my next haul video, but I haven't hauled anything after that, so I'm really proud of myself. But yeah, these are all of the books that I got in 2021. And then let's take a look at my 2021 TBR. This is my 2021 TBR. As you can see, I still haven't read any of the books on this list. Yep. I created a 2021 TBR video and I really hope to read all of them, but many of the books are quite big, like Priory of the Orange Tree and Children of Time, middle game as well. So we'll see how far I get, but I really hope to finally read some of these books. Okay, that's that. Let's go back to life. Then I have series. Okay, this is a fun one because I haven't looked at this too much. I haven't counted these things, so we'll be doing that together. These are all of the book series that I started, that I'm still reading, and that I DNF'd in my life. There are 80 series on here. This is not good. As you can see, there are a lot of DNFs and not a lot. Well, here are quite a few that I finished, but let's take a look at this together and see how many I have DNF'd. Add filter, I believe this is how it works. Let's see, contains DNF. And now everything, all the series that I DNF'd on here, let's see how many there are. 51! Oh my god, this is really bad. Oh my goodness. So I've DNF'd 50 series. Let's take a look at the series that I'm currently reading. 11. You see, if I'm not loving a series, I won't DNF it. It's just, I prefer standalones over series so much, and that is quite clear. But yes, I'm only reading 11 series at the moment. Good. And now let's take a look at the series that I've finished. Only 17. Oh, this is bad. Oh my god. Okay, well, this is one of my favorite pages, but also very confrontational. How have I only finished 17 series in my life and I've DNF 51? Okay, well, this is quite a interesting page. Let's delete this. How do I delete this? Like this. This is, yeah, it's back again. Okay, well, yeah, so every time I either start, finish or DNF a series, I will, you know, do it in this page as well, which is quite a fun one, but okay. I'm so shocked, 51 series. And then the last one is Beep. And this is for my job actually, so you won't see any of the books that I mentioned on here. Will it load? Here it is. So this is basically part of my job where I review books for the Dutch library. So this is still like a surprise of the books that are coming this year. But this is where I keep track of, you know, if I have to make a video or a photo, when it's like due, when the deadline is, and then I can tick off if it's done. And here's like the deadline, and here's like, is it a photo or a video, and then the title, obviously. So that's just something, you know, personal. Back at my homepage, I thought I would quickly show you how you can create like a new page. For example, if you want to do a tracking thing as well. So let's see, just do page. And then I could do like tracking. You can also add a little icon. No, not a, what's that called? Like an American football thing. Books. And you can just do so much with Notion. If you, here it says, if you type this, you get all of this information of what you can use. And for the tracking thing, I used a table. And then you can just add whatever you want. You can add a text thing, or you can add like a number thing, or you can add, I love the checkbox thing. I just love ticking off things. And yeah, basically, you know, why can't I think of a book? The Martian. And then you can add the, you know, a tag. You can of course change it as well to author, and here title, and here pages, author, Andy Weir. You can add these as well, so create, and if you want you can change the color of the author's name. Let's see, how does it work? Oh right, here it is. You can change it, so for example orange, because The Martian, the cover is orange. So you've added that author and how many pages, say 350 pages. And then of course here at the bottom I want the sum of all of it. So you can do calculate and then I believe just sum, I think. Let's see. Yep. How cool is that? And here it just counts, you know, the number of rows it has here. So you shouldn't have an empty row, otherwise it will count it. So it says 3 now, whereas I've only read 1 book. So you do have to make sure that you don't have any empty rows, otherwise it will count some extra. And here I can do like, is it an audiobook or a physical book? And you know, you can be very creative with this. You can also just do this differently, but I like to do it like this. So I can just tick off whether it's an audiobook or like a physical book. And then, type checkbox. And then here at the bottom as well, just calculate and do all the checked ones. So one of them is checked. And here as well, all the checked ones. So you can be very creative with this. It took me quite some time to just figure out everything, but it's really just trying out. There are also so many like very extensive Notion how-tos on YouTube. I highly recommend you check those out as well. But this is basically my Notion and how I use this. And I have to delete this page now because this is like, you know, I don't need this. You can just easily delete it and it's done. You can also find deleted pages in the trash. So if you do, you know, happen to delete one that you don't want to delete, you can just, you know, get it back. But this is basically my Notion and how I organize my books and my life in Notion. And then of course at the end of the year, I can use the numbers that are in Notion to create tables, for example in Excel, or just using a random website that create pie charts, because I don't think Notion can create pie charts, but I may be wrong because it's a very big program, so it may be somewhere, but I have to figure that out. But for now, I just use a random website to create pie charts. Just Google creating pie charts and I will just add the values from Notion into there. But maybe at the end of the year, I will have figured out if they do pie charts and I will show you as well. Let me know if you want to see anything more about how I track my books or Notion or whatever. Please let me know in the comments. But I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And let me know how you like organize your books or track your books. Do you use Goodreads? Do you use Notion? Do you use anything else? Okay, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you're having a beautiful day and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!